What is going on, guys? DBG here, and this video we are going to be doing another tier list, lads. So this one right here, it is going to be a tier list of the best players in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. So, lads, basically, we got a lot of players. If you're wondering why there is a S to E tier, then used for fun, and then we got it worthless tier, because we got 160 players we're going to be going over right here. So yeah, it's quite a lot. So if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. You put more MyTEAM content than anywhere else. And we just hit 247k. We're trying to hit 250k by the end of the month. 3k in 13 days. It is going to be close. It is going to be very, very close. So, yeah, anyway, now let's get on to the list. So, we're starting off Mel Daniels. I love Mel Daniels. He's going A for me. I think he's absolutely fantastic. Apparently, he's not great on current gen. Not next. He's my third best player in my squad. After D-Rob and Danny Ferry, but they're like two of the elites. He might get moved down to B. It all depends, but he's in the top 20 players in the game, in my opinion, no doubt about it. Adrian Dantley, trash can. He's garbage. Iguodala. I mean, at this stage, you gotta put Iggy in D tier, don't you? I think you really have to put Iguodala in D tier. I don't think he's anything spectacular. So, I'm gonna have to put him in D tier. He's not awful, though. AK. It's S or A. It really is S or A, but like since we got Danny Ferry and a few other guys, he would have been S tier. I only want to put maybe 10 guys in S tier. And I don't think he's top, maybe he's not top 10. He's probably in the lower end of the top 10. But he probably doesn't make most people's best teams anymore. It's a close one. He's better than Mel Daniels, but he might end up losing a spot now, even though I had him number 3. Even though I had him number 3 on my top 100 list last time. Bogut, I mean, he's a trash can as well. And like, just a heads up, worthless tier is probably going to be 3 times the size of all the other tiers, because we could fill up all of these tiers with 80 people, and you could have 80 in worthless. Wiggins. I think overall, Wiggins is a tier above Iguodala. Wiggins is good. He's really, really good. As a budget player, Wiggins is a really, really nice player. But again, he's not the greatest card in the world. Anthony Simons. I mean, he's not even fun to use. Worthless. Jameson. D. Jameson's alright. He's still a chicken man. Like, he still hits a lot of shots, and he's Huff D pucks used to be very OP on current gen, but not great. AD. I mean, considering Mel Daniels is here, we're probably gonna have some guys that are better than. We're probably gonna have Dirk and Jokic in B tier. So yeah, AD C tier. He was still good when he came out. He was great when he came out. Still just kind of solid. Anthony Edwards used for fun. He is fun to use. I will admit that he is a very, very fun to use card. But is he a good card in game? I don't really think so. Gilmore. He can't really. Again, he's at D pucks. He's a big player with decent defense. E. He can do some things very well. If you need, like, if you just need an interior center, Gilmore's all right, but not 100% sure. Like, depending on what you need for Gilmore, he might be in E tier or he might be in like C tier. So let's put him D tier. Let's put him D. Baron Davis, worthless. Ben Simmons. I think he's so flawed. Like, for me, I can't put anyone above D tier that can't shoot the ball. I'm telling you, I cannot put anyone above this tier that can't shoot the ball. I hate him. Ben Wallace. C. Wallace is solid. Solid. He's a good defender. He's a really, really solid player. Maybe you can move him down to D tier, but no, I like him. Bill Russell. E. He's like Artis Gilmore, except he's 6'10". I get he's a higher ball control, but that's kind of really it. He's basically a 6'10" Artis Gilmore. So, yeah, we have got E tier Bill Russell right here. Bill Walton, getting the worthless. Billy Cunningham. I mean, he's alright. D tier? E tier? D or E tier? I don't think he's as good as Iguodala, Jameson. I'm going to put him in E tier, but he might be D tier. And we got Billy Owens. B tier. I think that's a solid. Some people would argue A, but like A tier is going to be probably one of T-Mac or DeRozan. I don't think he's quite that level. He's good. Don't get me wrong, he's good, but the lack of hot zones means I can't put him above B tier. Bob Lanier. D. He's okay. Releases off, but he's good, pretty good at everything else. Beal. Beal's chicken, man. Beal's into use for fun because he's good on next gen. I don't like him on current gen. He's a 6'3" guy. Can't play the point guard though. Ingram, C tier. Roy. I don't know. Can't recreate. Can't Curry. I'll give him D tier, C tier. I'll give Roy C tier. I don't like him. I use him a lot. Bowen, D. Bowen on next gen is C or B tier. Bowen on current gen is probably E tier. So let's just go with D tier. Really good release. Just an overall good card. Melo, at this stage in the game, he's D tier. He's not bad. He's not bad at all. I think he's a good card. If you will not notice the difference between this Melo and the Open Melo. The reason the Open Melo is so much better, I'm gonna put Open Melo in low B tier because he can play at the 2. Melo still can't shoot from the corners on current gen. Still gets bad defensive animations on current gen, and on next gen he's a cone. Like both of these guys are cones. They're gonna feel almost the exact same. But I'll give this Melo B tier. So then when you've got Cedric. Is Cedric better than Wiggins? Ask the question. I think C tier is probably best for Cedric. You can definitely argue B tier, but I think C tier is probably best for Cedric Maxwell. Good length. Bosch. He's incredible. But he's A tier. He's no Kareem, he's no Wilt. He's no Kareem, he's no Wilt. And at the power forward position, I'm still taking Giannis over him. And I might even take Mel Daniels over him. So, Bosch is great, but he's A tier. Mullen. Mullen's B tier. Mullen's great. Like, it doesn't matter what gen you're on. Mullen is a great card. Like, his shooting is a level above most other cards in the game. He's great. Then we got CP3. I mean, some people have success with him. He's small. But I'm sorry, a 6'6" point guard. Like, unless you're RCA and you're using Rondo, I wouldn't suggest. I would highly not suggest running a small point guard. Again, if any of these guys in Worthless are your favorite players and you want to use them, go ahead. Yeah, he's not great. You know, running around with CP3 with a 6-foot tall point guard is kind of fun, so let's put him in there. Chris Webber. E. He's not as good, in my opinion, as Jameson or Melo or any of these guys, so like E tier for him. This Chris Webber, A. I'm putting this Chris Webber in A tier. I think he's fantastic. I think he's so good at shooting on next gen. He's really good at the 3. He's really good at both positions he plays in. He would be unbelievable at the 4. He's got good animations, and he's a 6'9" point guard on both gens. So, yeah, Webber's A tier. Clyde the Glide Drexler. C. I think he belongs in C. Sexton, worthless. At this stage, worthless. Dame, worthless. Dame, worthless. Very S. No question. No question about it. Any phase S tier. Funnily enough, I would have a Dame Lillard in E tier, but I forgot to put in the good Opal Dame Lillard. So if you're wondering with Dame Lillard, the good Opal Dame Lillard is in E tier. Granger. E. Yeah, he's not as good as Bone. So E tier for Granger, I guess. He's alright. He was good for his time. He was really good for his time. But at this stage, I think he's E tier. Darius Miles. Alright, what do I do with Darius Miles? He's good. But is he D or C tier? I think with his length, with his really good length, and I don't mind his release, I'm going to put him C tier. Like, he gives you very similar to what Cedric Maxwell gives you. Heck, he gives you very similar to what Billy Owens gives you. Like, I don't think he belongs in B tier, but I think C tier is probably the right spot for him. D-Rob. Oh, this is such a tough one. With D-Rob and S, I'm going to put D-Rob in A tier. I think there's a lot of situations where, like, he's not in the best two centers, and I would rather run AK at the power forward than run D-Rob at the power forward. So he's not in the best possible team, so he's not going to go into S tier. But man, I love D-Rob. Like, my best player is D-Rob, Mel Daniels, and Danny Ferry that I have. Boogie Cousins, D. I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's that much worse than, like, Anthony Davis, so I'm going to put him in D tier. A lot of people don't like Boogie's, but I do. DeRozan. I'm going to mess. I'm going to put DeRozan in S tier. Again, a lot of people are not going to like that one from me, but I'm putting DeRozan in S tier. I think he's really good. I think he's a T-Mac clone. That's basically it. Schroeder, worthless. You suck. Darren Williams. He's got base 38 on quick, which is such a fast release. So I'm going to put him in use for fun. And he's also got he's also 6'3" to 6'10" wingspan. He's got some really, really good stats. Hall of Fame blinders. He's in use for fun category. And I should probably put E tier. I don't know if I want to put use for fun above E tier or E tier above use for fun. But, like, I would much rather use any of these guys than any of these guys in E tier. Rose. I'm sorry, he's a 6'3" point guard. I can't put the guy above C tier. Can't put him above C tier. Schrempf. This is a weird one, because if we're talking about next gen, he's B tier. If we're talking about current gen, he's E tier. So I'll give him D tier as well. This is a Bruce Bowen. Nah, Bruce Bowen's better. Bruce Bowen's better than... maybe I love Gallo base. I don't know who's better, Bruce Bowen or Schrempf. I'll put Schrempf in D tier. Booker. I've only used Booker once. Didn't like him. E tier. Dirk Nowitzki, B tier. This Dirk Nowitzki. End of the list because you are not meant to be on here. Okay. Demantis Sabonis, C tier. Again, a really, really solid center, but to say he's anything other than, like, C tier, maybe you could argue him in D tier, would be crazy. I might end up bringing him down to D tier, to be honest. But he's C tier for now. Dominique, don't like him very much. D tier. Apparently, some people like his release, so I'm going to give him D tier, but I hate him. Dom Buse, D tier. Dom Buse is an underrated player. He really is underrated. Like, he is, as far as point guards go, I would rather use a Don Buse than a Ben Simmons, although I will admit Ben Simmons is cheesier for most. Don Ole. Man, I like Don Ole. I'm going to give Don Ole D tier, but he's better than Don Buse. The two Dons, Don Ole is definitely better. So let's put him in D tier. Donovan Mitchell, the third Don, I guess. I'm sorry, he's not even fun to use. His animation, like, he's not even... I don't even enjoy playing with Donovan Mitchell. As much as I would have liked the card, I'm sorry, he's a 6'1" point guard. He's not really that fun to use. Worthless. At this stage, Dwyane Wade, I'm sorry, worthless. Enes Kanter, worthless. Although his release is chicken, he's worthless. Evan Fournier, D tier. At this stage in the game, Evan Fournier is probably D tier. Not a bad card. Not a bad card at all. But he's just outclassed by these guys we have right now. Fat Lever. I'm telling you right now, I've used Fat Lever. I'm putting Fat Lever in E tier. I don't think he's better than Don Ole or Don Buse, even though he should be better than both. For me, he's just not. Like, we're looking at what should be the best 6'3" point guard in the game. But it's just something about him. There's just something about him when I used him. I didn't like him. Frank Ntilikina. C. You could argue B. I'm going C with Frank Ntilikina. I think he's good. He's good, not spectacular. Downtown Freddie Brown, E tier. I'm sorry, Ty. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure that he not play for Iowa. Downtown Freddie Brown's in the worthless tier. Fred VanVleet, worthless. Gary Payton. E tier at this stage. He's better than Dwyane Wade right now. He's better than Dwyane Wade. He's a really, really good defender. Like, for some people, you might argue him over Don Buse. I just much prefer Don Buse. Yeah, Payton. Let's put Payton in E tier. Payton's pretty good. Gary Trent Jr. Better than I expected. He still stinks. Worthless. Gerald Green. I mean, he's like 15k for a diamond who's meh. Like, there's a lot of better guys for 15k. Just because he's expensive because he came in the mystery pack. And you can't even say use for fun because you can't really create with him. Worthless tier. This Giannis, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. I'm going low. I'm going to go low C tier for this Giannis. I'm going to go low C tier. I don't really like him. He's kind of like him and Ben Wallace are the lowest of the C tier right now. Just maybe Giannis. This Giannis S. No doubt about it. The difference a couple of Hall of Fame badges and range extender makes on a +5 3 ball makes on a card is huge. Like, I went from not liking this Giannis. I hate the pink diamond, but I love this Giannis. Grant Hill S. No brainer. Maybe the best card in the game. For me, especially because I play on next gen, I'm taking Danny Ferry over Giannis or over Grant Hill any day. But yeah, Grant Hill's still spectacular. Hakeem Olajuwon. C. He's not D tier, he's C tier. He's in the same tier as Sabonis. You can prefer Hakeem, you can prefer Sabonis, but they're the same tier. And if I got Ben Wallace, Ben, you're going down a tier. Yeah, Ben's D tier. Hakeem Warwick, C. Hakeem Warwick's really nice. He's got a good release, he's got a good handle. His dunking's good, his defense is fantastic. Hakeem Warwick, C tier. Hedo Turkoglu. I'm sorry, he's worthless. I hate to do this, but he's worthless. Emmanuel Quickly used for fun. Quickly is so fun to use. Like, I'm actually changing these tiers. So we've got use for fun here. Use for fun. E tier. And then we have got worthless. So let's move these guys up and let's move all of these guys down. Because you know what? Fat Lever, you deserve a spot in there. Because you know what? I would rather use one of these fun cards than use one of these slightly better cards in E tier. Because at least these you can have an enjoyable, you're going to have a more enjoyable experience. Jamal Murray, D tier. Like, yeah, he's got a next gen, but like he's just simply not as good as a Derrick Rose. And like the gap between a Jamal Murray and like a Chris Webber is huge in my opinion. And I don't like Jamal Murray on current gen. He sucks. Jamir. Harden. I hate Harden. E tier. If you like Harden, fair enough. Because I know some people do really like this James Harden card. I don't. I simply do not like him. Jaron Jackson Jr. Get into A tier. This dude is a beast. Like, I compared him to, what's his name yesterday? I compared him to David Robinson. And, like, the only difference between him and David Robinson is that, like, David Robinson is, like, a +35 steal. Badges-wise, they're almost identical. Stats-wise, they're almost identical. Like, it's literally, the steal rating is the one thing that separates him from David Robinson. Obviously, David Robinson better because of his player build, but still. You've also got half range in Jaron Jackson Jr. He's incredible. He is easily, like, in the conversation with a Chris Bosh. He's that good in this game. He's unreal. Next, we got the false prophet. We got the false prophet, lads. We got the Flareon of my team. He was supposed to bring balance to the game. He was supposed to give the no money spent player a chance. He was meant to be our savior. He was a T-Mac clone. And you know what 2K did? They changed his dribble sig so he's no longer a T-Mac clone. And they gave him one hot zone outside the 3. Which is like worse than players we saw in September. They gave him bang average stats and only gold range extender. His one redeeming quality is the fact he can shoot moderately well from the left wing. He is a garbage man. I don't care what anyone says. He is an absolute garbage man and belongs in worthless tier. He is the false prophet of my team. And forget Ben Wallace. Forget Ty with Allen Iverson. There is no player that will have the frustration of myself more than this card here. Because we expected so much. He was meant to be our savior. And he was RNG as well. He epitomizes everything that's broken with the game. The fact that dribble sigs means so much. He's the epitome of everything that's bad with the gameplay wise. That if a card has bad dribble sigs, they suck. That if a card has no hot zones, they won't be able to shoot. That if a card And it's an RNG-based card, which we all hate. He is the epitome of everything that is bad about NBA 2K21's meta and NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. He is the epitome of all of it. And Jarrett Culver, get into worthless tier, you garbage man. Jason Tatum. See, I like Tatum. I think Tatum's good. Good shooter. Just overall good card. I don't think he belongs in the top tiers, upper echelons, but he is a C tier player. Jeremy Lin. E tier. I don't think he's better than Gary Payton. Jerry Sloan. I'll put him in C tier, but if you're on next gen, he is like A tier. He's fantastic on next gen. But I don't like him on current gen, so I'm going to put him in C tier. But yeah, he's fantastic on next gen. Jimmy Buckets. Get into D tier. You're pretty good. Again, like any of these guys in D tier are usable. Like you can use any of these guys in D tier and have a lot of success with them. Maybe not Shrempf if you're on current gen, but if you're on next gen, Shrempf is god. You can use any of these guys in D tier or C tier and be successful. E tier, I'm like, probably wouldn't use them, but they're still pretty decent in the worthless tier. Yeah, just don't bother. Noah, use for fun. Noah has some very specific qualities that he can be used, and it can be very, very fun cheesing with him, but he's not great. I have my Noah is completely juiced up, like with a bunch of good badges, range extender, but yeah, he's just fine. He's fine. Hondo. I mean, because of what Pro-Am guards can do with him, I have to put the guy in A tier. I really do. I have to put him in A tier. Because again, the Pro-Am guys with that 90 and quick, he's incredible. John Wall, wherever Derrick Rose is, C tier. I use John Wall on my team. John Wall's my point guard. He's a beast. His player model is monstrous on next gen. I don't really like Wall on current gen, but Wall on next gen's a beast. J.R. Smith. He's B. He belongs... If you're talking current gen or next gen, he's A tier. Current gen, I think he's B tier. He's alright. He's alright. He's one of the weaker dark matters in the game. Like, if you're looking to 3-hunt, you'd rather have a Hondo than a J.R. But on next gen, he's a god. On next gen, he's an absolute god tier player, which is why I'm trying to get him. Very, very easy to get. I used him earlier today, and I was like, he's alright. I'm not the biggest fan of J.R. Smith in game. And he would be a higher tier if 2K didn't ruin his dribble 6. 2K keep taking away people's behind the backs and giving them Pro 4. Like they did it with Jarrett Culver. They gave him Pro 4 behind the back and took away his Pro 1. They took away... Actually, no, they took away J.R. Smith's Pro 3 behind the back, which is the best in the game. They gave him Pro 2, which is not as bad as Pro 4. And then Darren Williams, they took away his Pro 5 behind the back and gave him Pro 4. I just don't get why they're changing dribble 6 and making them worse. Juan Carlos Navarro. I'm putting him in B tier because yes, most people argue Rose is better than him, but the fact is that the people that the Pro-Am guards or the stage guards, literally he's the best point guard in the game for them guys. He is like the Dwyane Wade of NBA 2K20. Like certain play styles, he's way better. And a player that knows how to use Juan Carlos Navarro. In my opinion, like there is no situation where Derrick Rose is better than Chris Webber. There is just none. And there is no situation where Derrick Rose is better than Grant Hill. But if someone knows how to use Juan Carlos Navarro to his full potential, you could argue that Juan Carlos Navarro can be as effective as Grant Hill when Navarro's in the right hands. Problem is that there's not many people which are those right hands, so I'm going to put him in B tier. But at his best, Juan Carlos Navarro is probably S tier. Same with Hondo, to be honest. Julius Randle. D. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. I wouldn't use him with a 5. I'd use him with a 4, but he's pretty good. Junior Bridgman, I'm sorry. At this stage, he's worthless. He's alright. Half showtime, decent release. Decent dribbling. But yeah, at this stage... I don't know. Bridgman's E. Bridgman's E. Kareem. Get into S, man. Kareem is just one of the best, man. He is ridiculously good. Everything except his 3-point rating is spectacular. And I mean, his overall game is pretty good. Cat. E. I don't like Cat. If you want to argue Cat's better than Buggy and Cat should be in D tier, that's fine. I don't think... There's one person in the world that believes Cat's better than Demantis Sabonis. But I do not think that Cat belongs in C tier. And I think you can definitely argue him in D tier, but for me, he's E tier. Kawhi Leonard This is a tough one. Let me put Kawhi into A for now. I love Kawhi at the 2 though. On next gen. If you're on next gen, Kawhi's S. But yeah, Kawhi's A tier for now. He's probably gonna stay in A tier. Keldon Johnson. I'm sorry, I've used Keldon Johnson. He sucks. So does Kelly Oubre. Like, if you want to say I have free card bias, fine. But like, if they suck, I'll tell you they suck. Keldon Johnson, one of the most ones that I was kind of hyped for. And it's not even like quickly where you can have a lot of fun. You can't even have fun with Keldon Johnson. He's like a cone, but he's a 6'5" power forward. Kermit the Frog. I mean, if you're talking next gen B, I'm gonna put, just for his defense and how good he is on that end of the floor, I'm gonna put Kermit in B tier. I think you can argue him down in C, but I'm gonna put him in B. He's alright. Kevin Durant. BA. He's better than all these guys in B tier, A tier. Still to this day, I love this Kevin Durant card. Maybe it's because of the way he moves differently on next gen, but I still love this Kevin Durant card. Anytime I've had a chance of using him. And to be fair, anytime I've used any Kevin Durant, I've had a lot of success with him. And I struggle against Kevin Durant. This Kevin Durant is S tier. Like, he's, in my opinion, like, I might move DeRozan down because of Tracy McGrady, but he's S tier. He's S tier. I don't know. I'm trying to think, who do I want? Who goes in what position? Like, we could end up moving DeRozan down and say him up and AK up. It all depends on what, because I'm going to try to make a full 10-man lineup in this S tier. So Kevin Garnett, power forward, center, A. I don't know what did I just move Bruce Bowen up to A tier? Kevin Garnett's A tier. Yeah, I've no question about it. I prefer Bosch. Very, very close between them guys. They offer different things, but I think they are that little step. They are that step below Kareem and Wilt, and they are closer to the D-Robs of the world. Maybe Kevin Garnett goes in there. I don't know. AK will go into power forward over KG. Kevin McHale. D tier? I don't mind him. He's pretty good. Decent release. If you can get used to his release, he's good. Dino-esque wingspan, but D tier. Kirk Heinrich. D. Kirk Heinrich is like basically Don Buse. Heinrich is incredible. He is one of the best. He's, in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion. Most people are not going to agree with it, but I'm putting it out there. For me, Kirk Heinrich is better than Tyrese Halliburton. Having used both of them, I have had more success with Heinrich than Halliburton. Again, most people are not going to agree with that, but I'm a big, big fan of this Kirk Heinrich card. Then we have got Clay. D. He's a 3 and D cone. I call a cone a cone. Like, Kobe, A. Don't like, I would put him in B on next gen. He's probably close to S on current gen, to be honest, at that point guard position. He's very close. Like, Grant Hill's far and away out by himself. But for me, I think overall between both gens, I would probably take Webber over Kobe. But yeah, Kobe's in A tier. Kobe's definitely in A tier. Then we got LaMelo, B. LaMelo Ball, in my opinion, he's my starting power forward. Like, I've got demons on my team. Actually, he's no longer my starting power forward because I switched around my lineup and moved Mel Daniels to power forward, and he now comes off the bench. But like, LaMelo Ball has comfortably taken Wes Unseld out of my team. He's the single best triple threat player in the game. Not only does he have the dribbling, the dribble style, the doesn't matter what gen you're on, the ability to get open like a point guard. They also gave him elite rebounding stats, good post game, and good post defense. He is the best triple threat point guard to run in the entire game. Not only that, he's one of the best power forwards in the game, period. He's the best player in B tier. You could argue him in A. You would legitimately argue LaMelo Ball in A tier. Like, the only reason this card is on a 99 overall Dark Matter or a 98 overall Galaxy Opal is because he's a primary power forward. If this is a primary point guard, he'd be at least a 98 overall, maybe 99. His stats are juiced. He's God tier. Like, he's a God tier budget card. Like, I can guarantee you he's S tier. There might be a tier of his own for LaMelo Ball in my budget squad list. But LaMelo Ball, Oh, I'll put him in the tier with Carmelo Anthony. Although I'm taking Lamella. Is he better than J.R. Smith? I don't know. I was about to say I'm putting Lamelo in A tier, but I'm like, I think Lamelo and J.R. J.R. belongs in A tier. I don't care. J.R. is too good to be in B tier. I'm so tempted to put Lamelo up. Kevin Durant. KD's going down. KD's the best in B tier. No, LaMelo's going up. I don't care. LaMelo's going up to A tier. Larry Bird is a solid B tier player. Current gen, you're looking C or D, but on next gen, he's incredible. Like, again, if you guys are next gen players, you're looking to find like some tips, or CA to Great's one of the best players to use for that. And man, when he's shooting those step back threes with circus threes, Larry Bird, I'm telling you, it's a different ball game in that scenario. LeBron, I'm sorry. Get into D tier. Like, everyone remembers this LeBron when he was at his peak. Or it's either one of two things. Either everyone remembers him at his peak and thinks he's better than he was. He thinks he was better than he is right now because every card's become God tier. Or they juiced up their LeBron back when he first came out, gave him a bunch of extra Hoff badges, and actually don't realize that without those juiced up badges, he's a gold clamps, gold range extender player who can't shoot from the corners on current gen and has a quite slow release on next gen. So yeah, LeBron D tier. Lionel Messi, Lionel Simmons, B. He's just the best on next gen. I don't care what anyone says. Simmons is a million times better than Billy Owens on next gen. Billy Owens is slightly better than Simmons on current gen. Like, I'm not putting Simmons in A because, like, it's not a bridge I want to die on. Like, I only want to put one budget god into A tier. And I was like, I'm thinking, do I want LaMelo Ball or do I want Simmons in A tier more? And I'm just going to say it, LaMelo's the better card. When you can take both gens into account, Simmons is just better on next gen. And I know if I put two of these budget guys in A tier while I got Melo in B tier, Carmelo Anthony in B tier, everyone's going to go crazy. So I'm going to, it's not the hill I want to die on. The Lionel Simmons one, but I will die on the LaMelo Ball hill. He's that good. Lonzo Ball. C. C, maybe D. He's like worse Frank. No, he's worse Frank Nilokina, D tier. He's good though. He's still good. Again, all of these guys in D tier are good. Lou Hudson getting to worthless tier. There's more people in D tier than worthless tier. That shouldn't be a thing. That should not be a thing. Worthless tier should have like 30% of this list. Luka Doncic, A tier. I mean, when we're looking at the best point guards, I might end up having to move someone. I'm having to move one other player up to S tier, and it's going to be a tough one. But Luka's incredible. Still to this day, release incredible. Next gen, I mean, I'll probably take JR over him, but if you put gold blinders on Luka, I mean, he might be the best on next gen. Magic Johnson. This one, because Chris Webber has been released, I think Chris Webber is just the better car. I'll put him B, but you could argue him higher. This Magic Johnson, D. He's alright. Don't get me wrong, he's alright, but I do not think power forward to center is the best position for Magic Johnson. I've tried him. I've definitely tried him, and he's okay. Malik Sealy. Malik Sealy. Boom. Crickets. Great. But yeah, Malik Sealy. C tier. A card that I really like. He's kind of on that same level, like Malik Sealy, Hakeem Warwick. A lot of these guys all kind of belong in that C tier range. Maxi Kliebe. As much as I love Maxi Kliebe, Kliebe is D tier. He's still got like clamps, Hall of Fame range center. I would still rather use Kliebe than McHale. I'd rather use Kliebe than Ben Wallace. I wouldn't rather use Kliebe than Randall. But he's in that kind of range. He's not quite D tier. Jordan, C. Like, I'm taking Sealy over Jordan 10 times out of 10. But I mean, a lot of people would say Jordan over Sealy, and it is subjective. So, which of these guys are better? Like, they're very, very similar, so I'm going to just put them in the same tier. This Michael Jordan, A tier, and this Michael Jordan going into B tier. So we got a Jordan in A tier, B tier, and C tier. I honestly didn't. I noticed more of a difference using from this Jordan to this Jordan, just for the half range, than this Jordan to this Jordan. They all kind of feel the same. Defensive stance is where Jordan really excels. That's his biggest asset. I don't like Jordan's release. I don't like his layup animation. I don't like his layup package. So I'm not high on Jordan. I'm still gonna give it A tier for the Dark Matter Jordan, but I'm not that high on him. Michael Red, B tier. He's like a worse version of this Kawhi Leonard that's in A tier. He's literally like a slightly worse version of this Kawhi, which is kind of crazy. And like, if you're on next gen, I'm still taking Simmons over him. If you're on current gen, he's all right. Like, he's not a bad limiter award, but he's B tier. Moses Malone. Oh, Moses Malone versus Demantis Sabonis. That's the $1 million question. Sabonis is better at nearly everything, but Malone has a better release. Like Sabonis, even though Malone has greater ball handles, Malone has basic dribble sigs. So Malone cannot dribble. Malone cannot dribble on next gen. Like on current gen, I think you take Malone over him. But on next gen, Malone sucks. So, whereas Demantis Sabonis might be slightly worse than him on current gen, but Demantis Sabonis is even better on next gen than he is on current gen. I don't think Malone is that much better than Bob Lanier, to be honest. And if you're talking next gen, I'm taking Julius Randle over Malone 10 times out of 10. I'll give him C tier. I don't like him. I don't rate him that highly because he stinks on next gen, but he's alright. Miles Turner, you get the same tier as those guys. Miles Turner is a really, really nice card. Again, a little bit low on the speed, like it's only mid 80s, but I love his release, so C tier. So I got worse Jaron Jackson Jr. Nate Robinson, used for fun. It can be very, very fun dunking on people with Nate Robinson. The annoying thing is there's a better 5'9" point guard that I forgot to put on this list. And you guys know. You guys are probably spamming the 4 letters right now. Or the 75 letters with the last 71 of those letters. Or 72 of those letters being the letter A. Then we got 2 Jokic's. We got Jokic. Wherever Dirk is, B tier. I like Jokic. It's preference whether you prefer him or Dirk. I think he's a tier above the likes of Anthony Davis, and I do think he's a little bit below the likes of Kevin Garnett. Good card. Voos. At this stage, I don't mind him, but he's worthless at this stage. Obi Toppin, D tier. I think he's decent. He's very, very good for a free card. He's a million times better than that bum Jarrett Culver. OG Anunoby, C tier. Yeah, I don't think anyone would really argue Anunoby in any other spot. Curry Sly, great defense, just an all-around good card. Pau Gasol. I mean, at this stage, we're looking E tier. We're looking E tier. I think Kliebe is better than him. So we're looking E tier for Pau Gasol. He wasn't bad for his time, especially for a free card, but we're looking E tier. This PG, at this stage in the game, we're looking E tier as well. Not bad, not awful. This Paul George, A. I am a massive fan of this PG right here. Curry Slide PG release on quick. Great, great card. Good length as well. Just great, great card. Paul Millsap. Get into A as well. Millsap's really good. Again, like, Millsap's release fantastic. Handle fantastic. Defense even really good. A tier. Pierce. E tier. Because I don't want to say he's worthless. He is bad though. He is very, very bad. Peja Stojakovic. I mean, at this stage, you can buy a better 3-and-D player than Peja Stojakovic for 10k MT. So, or for 7k MT. So yeah, Peja, yeah, he's worthless. Pete Maravich. I'm having to put him in A. I don't like him that much on current gen, but if you're on next gen, I mean, Pete Maravich really, really is the best point guard in the game. So, it's a tough one. It is a tough one. Again, that last point guard spot up on this top list is going to be very, very tough. And DeRozan might end up getting moved down. Rajon Rondo. I'm going to put him in the use for fun category because I don't rate him highly, but RCA has balled out with him, so For all you Celtics fans, the reason why Rondo's not in E tier is because you have RCA to tank for Rondo not being in E tier. Ray Allen, I mean, E. He was really good when he came out, or D tier. He was really good when he came out because he was a unique player. There's so many guys who do the exact same thing as him now. He's just a shooter. He's literally just a shooter. Richard Duma, B. Wait, why is OG Anunoby? It's not OG Anunoby, Obi Toppin. Richard Duma is B tier. Of all these guys, he's the best. Of all the Hakeem Warwick, Andrew Wiggins, Malik Sealy, of all of these guys that all do the exact same thing, he is the best overall. I think Simmons is the best on next gen, but I think overall Duma is the best. Like, he's incredible. PG on very quick, Curry slide, good dunker, just an insanely good player. Then we got Rick Smits. I mean, for cheese factor, you gotta put him in C tier. I don't think he's great though. He's a little bit slow, but he's like worst Taco Fall. Then we got Ron Harper. I mean, his defense is good. He's like a elite defensive better. I mean, I'm putting him in D tier because I mean, I'd rather use Kirk Heinrich than him. He's objectively fine. Rudy LaRusso. He's an exchange reward, so he's worthless. It doesn't matter how good the card is. If an exchange reward is like 8 pink diamonds, including 4 original owner ones, it's worthless no matter what. Westbrook, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Westbrook, worthless here. I wouldn't even put Westbrook in use for fun anymore. He's just outclassed. If you want to say use the Diamond Westbrook as a budget player for fun, you go ahead. Or if you have this card for free and you want to use Westbrook and he's your favorite player, go ahead. But I mean, he's not good. Scotty Pippen, there's 2 Scotties again. Scotty is... Sorry, Scotty's D tier. He can't do it. He can't create. Like, yeah, you might have a lot of success in him, but the guy just stands there and shoots the ball. So, like, all of these guys in C tier can, like, create a little bit. Scotty can't. He can't at all. So, then we have got Sean Elliott. Sean Elliott is... he's C tier. He's C tier. I like his release. If you want to argue him up with the B tier, he's a fantastic, easy player to get. Like, it's super easy to get him. He's unbelievable for that, for how easy he is to get. But, like, is he better than Malik Sealy, Michael Jordan? I think he's better than Sealy, but is he better than, like, Jordan, Jason Tatum, Hakeem Warwick? He's on that level. He's at that level, so he's going into B tier. Shaquille O'Neal. I'm sorry, he's flawed in the use for fun. If you either want to use him for fun or you are good with bully ball, Shaquille O'Neal is there for you. Sean Kemp. I mean, E tier. The more I use Kemp, the more I realize he's not at the level of a Maxi Kliebe. I mean, he's not quite worthless, but I mean, he's not that far off. Sidney Wicks. I mean, he's D tier. He's like a worse version of Kermit Washington. He's got good length, though. Got good length. He's like a worse version of this Giannis as well. Even though he can hold range, I'm still taking this Giannis over Sidney Wicks. I think I said I took Sidney Wicks. I think I said Sidney Wicks the last in my... May have said him in top 100 and the more. I used Sidney Wicks a few times in the last week. Just chucking him into squads. And I couldn't get his release down. He just didn't feel great for me. Spencer Dinwiddie. Because of how good he is on next gen, he is skipping E tier and worthless tier, but he's going into D tier. I can't justify putting him in the same tier as Derrick Rose. He's good on next gen though. Really good on next gen. Spencer Haywood, really good on current gen, which is why he skips worthless tier. I mean, he's not as good as Julius Randle, who's in D tier, and he's an objectively worse version of him. So we got Spencer Haywood in E tier. Again, for my playstyle, I don't particularly like him. I just couldn't shoot with him. I know a lot of people say he's an alright shooter. I just couldn't on either gen. Steph Curry, used for fun. A lot of people really like using Steph Curry in 2K, so I can't call him worthless. So, yeah, used for fun for Steph Curry, definitely. We got Steve Nash. I mean, because of this card art as well, and the 25 interior, I gotta put that dude in worthless. Taco Fall, absolute cheeseball. Absolute cheeseball. Get into A tier. He's like a much bigger player build than Rick Smits. Tony Parker, worthless. Tracy McGrady. Where's B-Roy? Go into B tier. This T-Mac, you got your spot in B tier. You're a pretty decent card. Again, Hall of Fame range extender, Hall of Fame clamps. The only problem is he can't really create, but he still is an elite cone on either gen. This Tracy McGrady though, you get into S tier. So that means DeRozan is come down. We got 6 of our 10 players here in S tier. That means DeRozan has gone down to A tier. He's into the last spot. Trae Young, oh, I'm sorry. If you want to, Trae Young sucks. Trae Young absolutely sucks. Tyrese Halliburton. I mean, he's like one of the best in D tier. I know a lot of people say like Halliburton over Nilokina. I prefer Nilokina. I like Halliburton. He's a great budget player, but again, as I said, I would rather use Kirk Heinrich than Halliburton. I'm not as high. I do like Halliburton. I think Halliburton's probably the better overall card because he can play better at the 2. No, let's give Halliburton C tier. He's more versatile. Let's give Halliburton C tier. Vince Carter. I hate him. I hate him so much. I'm giving you D tier because like stats and badges wise, you're good. I don't know why. I've never enjoyed using Vince Carter in 2K. Wes. B tier. There's something about him I don't like. I don't know what it is. I have him. I have him diamond contract. He's been out on my squad, and since I got rid of him, I've been playing so much better. Like I replaced him with Lamella Ball. And since I replaced him with Lamella, my team got significantly better. He's kind of clunky, and he's the worst rebounder I've ever seen. Like he rebounds like he's got 40 rebounds. He rebounds worse than Thurl Bailey, and Thurl Bailey can't catch the ball. He rebounds worse than that LeBron James that has butterfingers. That Opal LeBron James that has butterfingers on rebounds. He rebounds worse than those guys, but he still shoots really well. He's still B tier. Wilt. I mean, he's like way worse Shaq. Sorry, I'm putting Wilt in worthless. I don't like him. But this Wilt. Go get into. Keep going. S tier. And funnily enough, I'm pretty sure that this Wilt Chamberlain right here is more expensive than this Wilt Chamberlain. And this is a card that belongs in S tier. Wilt is incredible. Wilt, half range extender, elite shooter, elite dunker, half clamps, half quick first step, just everything, just Hall of Fame, elite. Levine. B tier. I think he's a better version of the Brandon Roy type card. He's basically a Brandon Roy and Curry slide. That's probably the best way to describe Levine. I really like Levine. He's a little bit undersized, but man, I love that release. I'm a big fan of this card. Like, yeah, you can argue some of these guys in C tier might be better, but I just love Levine. I love the pink diamond Levine. I know this one's just better. Zions are going. Both Zions are going to go with. Yeah, both Zions are A tier. Both Zions are A tier. So I'm just going to leave it at that. So, okay. Let's have a look right here. We're just trying to fill out. We're filling out S tier right now. So our 2 centers are sorted. Our point guards. So we got 1 point guard. We got 2 centers and a power forward. And maybe 2 power forwards. And our, say, 2 guards sorted. So we basically need 3 more guys to fill teams. We need 1 more point guard. Okay. It is between J.R. Smith, Kobe, Luka, and Pete Maravich. If you're on next gen, you're taking Pete Maravich. Next gen, it goes Pete Maravich 1. It goes J.R. 2, Luka 3, and Kobe Bryant 4. And Kobe Bryant a distant 4th on next gen. If you're on current gen, it goes Kobe 1, Luka 2, J.R. 3, Pete Maravich 4. You are kidding me. I was like, I'm trying to weigh up the points, and they literally are the same. It goes the opposite, like. It literally goes, next gen is like this. It goes like 1, 2, 3, 4. And in current gen, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. It just goes the opposite way. So I'm trying to think who's closer. Kobe is way down on next gen. He's so far down. Luka, you could argue, in the right scenario, right hands with gold steady or blinders, could be the best player in current on next gen. And he's the number 2 on current gen. And in the right hands, Luka is probably almost as good as Kobe. So Luka is the one that's going up as the other point guard for me. Luka is going ahead of Kobe, JR, and P. Maravich. But it's a close one. It's a very, very close one. It could have been any of these guys. 2 guards, we got these 2 guys, or we got this guy, small forward. Let's have a look. We can bring Andrei Kirilenko in a small forward. So we got these 2 guys, 2. We got AK and him at small forward. And we can bring up 1 more player. There's 1 more player we can bring up to S tier right now. And I forgot Chris Webber is a point guard as well. I'm going to still say Luka over Weber, but that's a really close one. I forgot Weber existed. So we have DeRozan, PG, Kawhi, Zion, Millsap, Kevin Garnett, or D-Rob for the last spot in S tier. And Chris Bosh. I'm going to go with David Robinson at power forward to make up the final lineup. So my best lineup: Grant Hill, Luka as my 2-point guards. 2 guards: Kevin Durant, T-Mac. My 2 small forwards: Danny Ferry, AK. 2 power forwards: D-Rob, Giannis. My 2 centers: Wilt and Kareem. So yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That is pretty much it. We have managed to make our biggest tier list yet in terms of amount of numbers, which is why we got through that one a little bit quicker, speak on each player. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.